What else am I supposed to do? Welcome to Proof It. Today, we're discussing collaboration. Everyone talks about the importance of collaboration, but here's the thing. Most teams don't actually measure whether it's working. They just treat it like shaving their face and assuming that if things feel smooth, they are smooth. But there's an unseen, scary side. Without the right data, you could be hemorrhaging time, budget, and creative energy without even realizing it. Collaboration has a direct impact on project success, on timelines, budget efficiency, and creative quality. But how do you prove that? Let's see how to take collaboration out of the black box and actually quantify it with KPIs. Okay, let's start with the basics. What should you even measure? If your team is drowning in revisions and missed deadlines, you don't just need to collaborate better. You need to track why things are getting stuck. Here are some KPIs that reveal the truth behind your workflow. Revision counts. How many times does an asset get sent back for changes? More revisions often mean maybe your ducks weren't in order from the start. Turnaround time. How long does it take from first draft to final approval? Are bottlenecks slowing things down? Stakeholder engagement. Are key decision makers reviewing assets on time, or are they dragging their feet? Campaign performance. How well does the final product perform? If the results aren't exactly electrifying, was there confusion in the creative process? KPIs like these give you real insight into where collaboration is hitting and where it's messing up your team's productivity. But this isn't a math class. Numbers alone don't tell you the whole story. You need to collect and interpret the data. There isn't a data fairy that just leaves it under your pillow. You need systems in place to capture it. One of the best ways to track collaboration efficiency is by looking at review and approval timelines. You can see how much time is spent actually creating versus how much time is lost in feedback loops. Then you can look at if stakeholders are giving timely, actionable feedback, or if they're the reason that projects keep getting pushed back. Let's say you discover that 60% of your project timeline is spent waiting on approvals. That's a huge red flag. Or maybe your creative team is spending way too much time reworking designs because the feedback was vague the first time around. When you track these patterns, you can fix them. Here's the really satisfying part. Once you have the data, you can make real changes. If your revision count is out of control, maybe you need a better creative brief. If approvals are dragging, you might need to set firmer deadlines for stakeholder feedback. The goal is continuous improvement, tweaking your workflow so each project runs smoother than the last. For example, I once worked with a team that realized their longest delays happened because key stakeholders weren't part of the initial feedback round. By shifting approvals earlier in the process, they cut their project timelines by 30%. That's a lot of percent. But it doesn't stop there. You can actually automate how you track collaboration. Ziflow lets you see proofing metrics in real time. You can track how many versions an asset went through, how long stakeholders took to review, and even who might be holding things up. Instead of guessing where bottlenecks are, you have clear, actionable insights. Basically, nobody can hide. If you want to prove the ROI of great collaboration, or just show leadership that your team is working smarter and not harder, you need to be tracking those metrics. That brings us to your Proof It tip of the day. Measure collaboration like you measure performance. Track your revision cycles, stakeholder engagement, and approval times. Use that data to refine your process, cut unnecessary delays, and make every project run smoother. Because when you can prove collaboration success, you can scale it. Thanks for watching Proof It. If you're ready to transform how your team works, try Ziflow today.